This is Richie Valens and La Bamba. Which reminds me, tomorrow we've got a couple of Cuban musicians coming into the studio to sing for us. Thank you for your company this morning. I'll be back tomorrow just after 9 o'clock, and for the next hour and a half, ringing as much as he can out of it, Gerry Anderson.
Ringing as much as I can out of it?
Out of it, yes.
Indeed.
Like a wet dish rag.
I used to play in a band with that last guy, Ricky Valens.
In the Toe Rags?
No, Richie Valens, he's the fellow who sang La Bamba.
Oh, did he? Oh.
I played in a band with a fellow who sounded like him, who's dead. Who's not dead, but he thought he was dead, but Richie Valens. Do you remember him? Tell Laura I Love Her.
He's dead.
No, he's not.
He is. He was killed in an air crash with Buddy Holly.
Richie Valens was. Ricky Valens was another guy who he sang a song called Tell Laura I Love Her.
Valens is a thing that goes down underneath your duvet.
I didn't know that. When did you find that out?
That's Valens. Do you not know nothing?
A Valens. There's too much Valens in our streets.
There is indeed. And the Ulster Orchestra's full of them.
Absolutely.
Valens.
Well, what a great day it is today.
We've been talking about loos this morning.
Have you really?
Very interesting.
I talked about that one day last week, but I swore I'd never do it again.
No.
Because I lowered the tone of the programme.
No, it all started with this man who's got a 4-foot snake in his toilet.
There's nothing I can say to that, really.
There's no answer to it.
And what kind of a snake was it?
A 4-foot one.
Really? What kind of a breed was it? Viper?
It was a Californian redback.
A Californian redback?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
And how did it get there?
Well, we don't know. We think it escaped from a neighbour's snakearium.
Snakearium?
Whatever they live in.
And what was his reaction when he discovered that? Was he engaged at the time when he saw it? I mean,
no, but the toilet was.
Yeah. Was he seated when he noticed it?
Well, it doesn't actually record that, whether in fact he came into close contact with it or he came in to have a shave or something and the snake sort of popped out. But it's a well thought out snake, because every time they go to catch it, it slithers down the loo and goes round the U-bend. Lurks.
Oh, God.
What'll probably happen if it meets another snake? It'll probably breed.
I'll tell you what, if I was him, I think I'd clock elsewhere.
4 miles to the nearest loo. Tesco's.
3 wheels on my wagon. I'm still rolling along with Cherokee are after me.
Have you got nice things this morning?
Absolutely nothing.
What are you starting with? I always like to hear your first record.
It's a very nice song. It's an old Johnny Cash song called I Still Miss Someone, sung by a man called Leo Kottke.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Here it is. This is for you.
Bye.
This is for John.
At my door the leaves are falling. A cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. How I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. I go out on the party and look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. How I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there.
That's Leo Kottke. A song called I Still Miss Someone, an unusual version of that, and one that we hear on the programme like very much indeed.
I love that song.
You see, there comes a time when you will join me in my musical taste.
No, I like that. I've always liked that.
You've always fought tooth and nail and complained bitterly about everything that I play because you think it's not punter-friendly.
But I like it, but I would like to hear him sing something else.
Well, I can get you... I've got to
could
sing
you play
something else.
Yeah. Could you play something else either today or maybe tomorrow? Just to sort of a wee bit of variety.
How would you like him singing Turning into Randolph Scott? How'd you like him
anything
singing...
at all. I mean, I'm not familiar with the person.
How'd you like him singing 8 Miles High? How'd you like him singing Standing in My Shoes? Pamela Brown, The Sailor's Grave on the Prairie, Born to Be With You?
Born to Be... I would like to hear Born to Be... Is that the same... who was that, the Ponytails? No, who did Born to Be With You?
We had that the other day. Don't start that again. It was Butch Moore, don't you forget it.
Oh, yeah, go on. Would you play that, would you?
Here We Are Gone?
No, could you?
I won't play it, no.
Please, just put on Born to Be With You.
No.
See if it's the same Born to Be With You. Then take it off. That's all. I just ask you, please,
all right,
nicely.
Okay. I don't like doing this, you know that.
Did you see Dolly last night?
No, I missed her. I don't like Dolly.
She was on before, but it was good.
She's too false for me.
Ach, no, she knows she's false. That's what she was saying.
I know, but I can't stand that. Here, have a listen to this now.
Please keep that for later on and play it.
No, I'm not
please,
playing that. I'm not playing
play
that
it
again. It sounds horrible.
You never played it before.
I know, I'm not going to play it again either.
There's a man on one.
I know there is. I have to deal with the man first. I've got a letter here from a person called Sally. She says, could you please put out an appeal to see if there's any shops that sell men's trousers that are extra wide at the bottom? My dad suffers from very swollen ankles. Any trousers that he buys do not fit his ankles and look really tight. My dad could get a suit made, but they're looking 500 quid. And he couldn't afford that for one pair of trousers. Yeah, who does he think he is? Puff Daddy? Maybe a shop that sells extra long trousers, if they were taken up, would be okay. I can only listen to your show until 11:15, so if you could read this out early, I would appreciate it very much. I live in the Portadown area, but I'm prepared to travel. Do not read my name out, thanks. No, I haven't done that. I just said it was Sally, but that's okay. So there we are, an unusual problem, one that I haven't really encountered before, a man with thick ankles. So if anyone knows where a person could get an extra long pair of trousers that could be cut off and made to facilitate the man's ankles, there's no reason at all why she shouldn't be sent in the direction of that shop. That's a lady who lives in Portadown. So give us a ring if you know of any shop like that, because these are problems that, people don't normally air on other programmes and other presenters don't care about. But I, of course, have a heart and have time for everyone. Everyone knows that on this programme. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I have time for everyone.
Good morning, Gerry.
Everyone knows that in this programme.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. I have time for everyone.
That's good. I'm glad to hear you say it.
What can we do for you on this fine morning?
This fine morning. A friend of mine is looking to purchase a violin.
Looking to purchase a violin?
Yes, a decent violin. He has got one.
Okay. People don't buy violins much anymore.
No, they're too precious.
They are indeed. And, there's no demand for them, really. Young people these days don't seem to be interested in the violin. Of course, they never were, really. But, there seems to be less interest in violin playing.
Well,
anyway, what kind of a violin is he looking?
He's looking one that he can tune. He's got one which won't sound tuneful.
It's one that can't be tuned?
One that can play properly. He did play violin as a young man.
Well, you see, I have to tell him that it's not the violin that plays, it's he that plays the violin. And if he's got a violin that cannot be tuned, did you say that?
He was given one that is impossible to tune.
Well, what's obviously happened here is that the little knobs have jammed. Yeah. And he can't tune it. So what he wants is one that can be tuned. I mean, I've never seen a violin that can't be tuned. Well, so most of them can be tuned, yes.
They're specialists.
But you tell him that he has to learn to play it, that it doesn't play itself.
He played years ago and was quite a good player, but he would just like to know how to try at it.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you. Is it you?
No, it's not me. No,
yes, it is, isn't it?
I don't play the fiddle.
No, it is you, isn't it?
So
it is you, isn't it?
It's not me, no.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, looking for a violin.
It's not me. I'm not ashamed to say it was.
All right, then, okay. I thought maybe it's some hang-up.
No, the man in question is a bit conscious of his dialect. He's broke.
He's conscious of his dialect?
Yes, his manner of speaking.
Well, what's wrong with him? How does he speak? Is he Ulster Scot? What is he?
No, it doesn't matter.
But how does...
I'll leave it if you can find someone.
In other words, he doesn't want to come on the radio because he's self-conscious about how he speaks.
A little bit, yes.
Well, you see, I'm the same, but I conquered that.
Did you? You've plenty practice.
You tell him he should never be ashamed of his accent. That's what's wrong with this country. Too many people go to England and they start to talk like that because they're ashamed of their accents. Be proud of your accent. Tell him to be proud. Stand up straight and be proud. Hold himself up to his more than his average height and say, by thunder, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my accent and my dialect. I'm as good as anyone.
He's a
tell
man
him
who
that.
stands tall.
And tell him to lift his fiddle and tell him to ring it out.
He's a man who stands tall.
Absolutely. Tell him not to be listening to these smart Alex.
Can you help me obtain a violin or fiddle?
I think there's every reason why I should.
Sort of call out maybe someone will be able to help us.
Well, what kind of area are we talking about here?
In the Fermanagh area.
The Fermanagh area, the lakes area. Anyone who's got a violin that can be tuned is prepared to sell it. Is that what you're looking for? He's looking to buy it?
Yes, prepared to be
well, are you prepared to negotiate the sale on his behalf, or will he do his own make his own arrangements?
I can do it on his behalf.
All right, then. Okay, anyone who's got a violin for sale, you don't particularly want a new one, do you?
No, it doesn't have to be a new one. One that's playable.
And you don't particularly want something of high quality?
Something that's tuneful.
You want something that's, sounds okay and is manageable and is affordable. You're not looking for a Stradivarius, by any chance?
Not a Stradivarius, no.
Okay, all right then. So anyone out there who's got a violin for sale, give us a ring here, and we'll put you on the man. And tell him to not be ashamed of his accent, even though he is from Enniskillen.
He's not ashamed, he's just conscious of it.
Well, tell him not to be.
Right,
tell him to ring me sometime and talk away like a maniac. And I'll appreciate it. Okay.
Okay, take your point.
All right then.
Thanks, Gerry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for that.
Bye. That's just wrong with a lot of people in this country. We think we're not as good as anyone else. It's because we've been drilled in this for years. It took me a long time to get over that. I used to think I was inferior. But then I went to Radio 4 and then I realised that I was. Oh, look at that. Sorry, I did the wrong thing. On the 9th of January, could you please wish my dad, the best dad in the world, a very happy 80th birthday with all my love. That's from Diane. I'm going to play a little finger picking here. You'll probably enjoy this. This is an album which I played a number of times. It's called Picking on the Beatles, Volume 1 and 2. And you can buy that on the internet, apparently. You can get tracks from the Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Beach Boys, and all that kind of stuff. These men ape the popular tracks of old and turn them into bluegrass country picking stuff. This is what's called, what is this one? Let me see. What?
The Craig, there's a shop called, and there's also a shop on the Craigie Road beside Craigie Carpets, and Billy works there, and Billy will help.
Billy will help in what way?
For the wide bottom trousers.
Well, you see, we were talking about violins, you see, but then again, you've moved on. With wide bottom trousers. Where are those shops again?
Beside Craigie Carpets on the Craigie Road, and ask for Billy. Or else Stanley.
What is beside Craigie Carpets? What's the name of the shop?
The lady didn't know. But she just knows that it's beside Craigie Carpets. So that's good enough. There must be a man's shop beside Craigie Carpets, and that'll probably be it. If Billy works in there.
Craigie Carpets where?
On the Craigie Road.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Okay.
And Billy.
Don't jump down me throat.
I'm not.
That's all right. Beside Craigie Carpets and the Craigie Road, there's a shop that sells trousers. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen's outfitters.
Well, I don't know about ladies.
Gentlemen's outfitters.
Right.
And a fellow there called Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And is he a man that can sort out your trousers?
Well, apparently so. A lady said she got them there often.
Often? Mm. And where else did you mention another place? Stanley's. Where's Stanley's?
Stanley's Lower North Street, Belfast.
Lower North Street. And what's his claim to fame?
I think he's got big trousers as well.
He's got big trousers too. Yeah. All right then, so anyone who wants big trousers either go to Stanley's in Lower North Street or the shop beside Craigie Carpets and Craigie Road, run by a man called Billy.
Christ, that's it now. Sorry.
Shoe shops aren't what they were, Have you been in a shoe shop recently?
Would I just think of the last time I was on a shoe shop?
Shoe shops aren't what they were.
That's just serious. This is serious now. Would I think of the last time I was in a shoe shop?
1967. When was the last time you were in a shoe shop? Come on.
I'll tell you, the last time I was... do you know our shopping centre here, Foyleside?
Our shopping centre? One of the many shopping centres.
Foyleside.
Yeah, the most recent one, yeah. Yes. John Hume's shopping centre.
How long has that opened?
Oh, God.
How was that open?
Years, 5 years, is it? 6, 10? I don't know.
How long is it?
Janet knows. She shops all the time.
Well,
no, that's Geraldine, isn't it? Sorry.
It's that time since I was in a shoe shop.
Since it opened?
Yeah.
The first day it opened, you went down and looked at the shoe shop?
No, I didn't. I haven't been there since it opened.
Well, have you been in the shoe shop when it opened?
No.
Well, why are you telling me that was the last time you went there when you weren't in it?
Because I was in a shoe shop before it opened.
In other words...
I haven't been in a shoe shop since it opened.
Since Foyleside opened, you haven't been in the shoe shop, but when Foyleside opened, you weren't in the shoe shop in there. But when it opened, that was the last time you were in a shoe shop, but it wasn't there. It just, it wasn't the shoe shop that you were in, but you were in one around about the time it opened, but it wasn't there. Is that basically what you're trying to say here? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm saying to you is very simple if you'd listen to me.
I'm listening, but I still can make no sense out of it.
When Foyleside opened, since Foyleside opened, I haven't been to a shoe shop.
Well, were you in a shoe shop in Foyleside when it opened?
No.
You see, this is where I have the problems. Why are you telling...
Shoes have been bought.
Okay. What?
Shoes have been bought for me from Foyleside.
By whom?
My wife.
Your wife buys your shoes?
Yes. So I don't know what I like.
Suppose you don't like them.
But they bring them back.
So your wife brings you in shoes into your house and says, here's shoes for you, and you say, I don't like them, she brings them back.
I say go out and I need a pair of size 8.5 shoes. I want a brown pair, or I want a black pair. Wide fitting.
Don't you know that this is very unusual?
No, it's not. It prevents me from going downtown.
But you should want to go downtown, and then you can look around you.
No, because you don't know what you want.
But if you go downtown and look, maybe you'll see what you want. Why don't you just go down and look and see what you want?
That's the whole thing. You see, you would see, or I would see shoes, a whole row of shoes, and I would say, I like that shoe, and I like that shoe, and I don't know if I like that shoe.
See those shoes there?
Yes.
I bought those just a week ago in a shoe shop.
Yeah, but I
recommend it highly. No. If you want a pair of shoes, you go into a shoe shop and you go, look, I like those. Should I try those on? And then you don't have to send your wife in. She doesn't have to run around the town and bring them back and then say...
You've got very low. Would you do something to your microphone?
I tell you what I did. I thumped the desk with my foot when I brought my foot up to look at it. Remember, yes. I described the good shoes. But the shoe shops aren't what they were. And I'm not saying anything about the shoe shop that I was in a week ago. That was fine. But do you remember years ago?
See, I always think that...
When was the last time you were in a shoe shop? I mean, you were...
I would say about maybe 8 years ago.
Well, see, it's difficult for me because I always think I'm talking to a normal person. See, I can't talk to you because you're not...
See, I get very conscious of the person that has to go away and go up a ladder and bring you down boxes.
No, ladders are gone now. You see, that's what I'm trying to say to you. No. There are no more ladders anymore in shoe shops. What they do is, you remember the man used to go up the ladder and get your shoes? What size? Do you like them? Well, you 8.5, 8.5.
I used to hate that. And the man would bring you
down.
Now
they don't do that. They go out the back now. They go out the back for the shoes. They used to go up the ladder, but now they go out the back. And do you remember you used to go into a shoe shop, and there used to be a wee man there, and he used to always wear a suit, and sometimes he'd be baldy. Right. But he'd been there for a very long time.
Other times he'd wear a wig.
Be very long time, and he'd know your foot.
Right.
He'd know your foot. And they'd go, young Anderson, how you doing? And I'd walk in, and he'd say, what do you fancy today? I said, I like those. Oh, right, 8.5, isn't it? And he'd know. And sometimes, remember you used to put your foot in the x-ray machine? Remember that?
No.
Yes.
No.
See how long it's been since you did that?
The X-ray machine?
The X-ray machine in the shoe shop. Do you remember you put your foot in? Do you remember? Do you not remember that?
Head's a Marley.
You look in and you see your foot and you can wiggle your toes.
Gone away and catch yourself on.
The phones will start to ring now because you have let yourself down again.
Because the shop assistant would have to have a big lead apron on him.
No, that's the butcher. There was a thing in the shoe shop, and you put your foot in, and you looked in a thing like, what the butler saw. Remember you used to watch that? Remember in Port Royce with the girl with no clothes on? Remember you'd look in there? Do you remember? Well, this is the thing, you look in, and you wiggle your feet, and then you wiggle your toes, and then you say, that's about right there, look.
Not at all.
Of course they did. What do you see now when the people start ringing up and saying how stupid you are for not remembering that? You see, this is why you should go out more. You don't know nothing about that. And then the wee man used to go over, and like as not, he would be baldy, and he'd have a waistcoat on. Mm-hmm. And he used to get down his knee, and he'd get down the one knee, and he'd put your shoe on for you. Do you remember? And he'd take out his shoe horn, and he'd use that a wee bit, and he'd say, is that all right for you?
I'd love to know where you were buying your shoes.
It'd feel around your foot to know. Yeah. They'd say, is that all right, son? Does that feel all right there? And you go, yes, it's up a bit. No, that kind of stuff. And then he'd take you out, and then you'd go out happy. But now it's guys with pimples who say, they're over there, look. And then you have to try them on yourself, and then he comes over and he says, is that all right for you? And he'd say, yes. He says, well, do you want them?
It's a pity you have to try them on yourself,
It's a pity you have to try them on. Well, at least I go to the shop, which is more than you do. At least I get off my arse and go out and go into the shoe shop, which is what you don't do.
That's so simple now. It's not 8.5 broad fitting, black or brown. And they just come into the house and they just sit there and you put them on, you walk out the street. And you walk away.
God help you if you ever have to buy a pair of kickers. That's all I can say. Look, I keep doing that by mistake. Why is that happening? I'm going to play something else now.
Play that.
No, I'm not going to play that. No, I'm going to do a little picking here. Listen to this. have to guess the name of this song. That's a song called We Can Work It Out. I suppose that was quite easy. Right, don't forget, if you want to contact this programme, the number to ring is 08459 555 678. I'll just repeat that. That's 08459 555 678. I'm slurring today. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm sorry. It's nothing serious. It's just, I'm aware of myself doing it. And if you want to send an email, it's jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And you can send us a text message. No, I'm not going to give you the text message, though, because 9 times out of 10 the thing isn't working. I'm going to wait until it's up and running properly before I give you numbers like that. This is Brian Wilson. This is quite good. This is called South American. It's from an album called Imagination.
Out of this
South America, that's Brian Wilson from an album called Imagination. You won't even go to the shoe shop. I'm going to South America. I'm going to South America in October, actually. I'm going to climb the Andes. I am, seriously. I'm going up to Machu Picchu in October for the Foyle Hospice. Well, you know, with people out of the Foyle Hospice. I'm looking forward to it. I may do a small documentary, which nobody will want to hear whilst I'm there. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Have you been to your shoe shop recently?
Gerry, I worked in the shoe shop for a number of years.
Well, tell me, isn't there a radioactive machine there? Isn't there a machine?
No, not in my shoe shop, there wasn't.
Well, why am I imagining this? There was a thing you could look through and you could see your toes waggling, and you could see if your shoes were too big or not.
No, there maybe was, but that was before my time.
There was. Maybe it was full of asbestos and they took it away. I don't know. It was obviously dangerous because I never had a lead apron.
Well, I have to just tell you, Gerry, I don't know where you think those girls are going when they go out the back to get you the shoes.
Where do they go?
Up the ladder.
Is it up? Oh, they go up the ladder at the back?
Up to the gods, yeah.
But the ladder used to be in the front.
It's in the back now.
I know, but you see, that's the shoe shop.
And also, your friend John is not alone, because most women buy their husbands their shoes.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people? Are they men or mice? What are they? These men sitting in the house watching TV and the women bringing them in shoes. The women are the worst. I mean, they should wise up. When did they keep themselves on? For God's sake. What are these, like big babies, lying there, all big swollen bellies, and getting their shoes put on them, like big mice. I don't know what they're like big fat dormice. What's wrong with them?
I don't know.
Trying watching Manchester. What happens when their wife dies? What happens then?
They don't buy any more shoes.
You know, they just pad around in their bare feet, and then they starve to death, and then they're buried. I mean, what kind of a life is that? What kind of a life has he got in there? I mean, my God, what's wrong with these people? They're just like big babies. They should be getting bottles. Of course, they do get bottles.
I wish you'd say what you mean, Gerry.
I know, I'm afraid to say it. Because I know I'll get sacked. Well, tell me this. When did you stop working in the shoe shop?
When did I stop? Just about 6 months ago.
How long did you work in it?
I was there for about 8 years.
What was the smelliest feet you ever came across?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
Can you see him now? Was it his socks or was it just his feet?
I think it was just him.
Did you mention anything to him?
Oh, no.
Did you serve him or did you...
Oh, no, I did. I served him, but the next time he came in, I run.
Did you reel back in horror? Do people know... People in your shoe shop, do people that you worked with knew the people walking in?
Yes.
You were the smelly people?
Yes.
And they all ran away, did they?
Most of us, yes.
And the last person in had to serve it?
That's it.
Anyway, you listen, it's coming up to 11 o'clock. I'll have to go now. Do you want to say hello to someone or anything while you're there?
No. Just hello to my mum and dad.
Okay.
They're probably listening to your wee show. Ruby and John.
All right then, Ruby and John. Okay, loves. Cheerio.
All the best, Gerry.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That's it now. Coming up to exactly 11 o'clock.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
And at 11 o'clock, this is the news with Linda Ray. Nearly 400 drink drivers have been caught by police in the last 5 weeks. The police said the figure, a rise of 31 from last year, was disappointing. Assistant Chief Constable Duncan McCausland said even though the winter campaign had ended, police are still determined to catch drink drivers. Police in Portrush are trying to find out how a 24-year-old Coleraine man was killed. They began a murder investigation after the man's death in the centre of the town early today. A 23-year-old man is being questioned. Local MLA John Dallett said people in the area were shocked at the news of yet another death of a young person. An Ulster Unionist delegation led by David Trimble has been meeting the Prime Minister at Downing Street to discuss the current impasse in the political process. Tony Blair will meet Sinn Féin and the SDLP later in the week. The Prime Minister is to defend Britain's stand with America on Iraq later today, but he will also tell a conference of British ambassadors in London that the US should be encouraged to tackle other important issues such as world poverty. The BBC's political correspondent Norman Smith says Tony Blair is performing a delicate balancing act.
He wants to say that it's right that Britain should support America in confronting these difficult issues when you've got rogue states, and that you can't just leave America to handle these sort of things on your own, and that Britain benefits from trying to exert influence on America in these situations. At the same time, he is acutely aware that within the Labour Party, indeed amongst some of his senior colleagues, there is concern that he is perhaps being a little too accommodating to Washington, and that he needs to get more from Washington. In other words, it can't all be one-way traffic with us meekly going along behind the United States and doing what they want.
An heir to the multi-million-dollar Max Factor makeup fortune has gone on the run in California. Andrew Luster, who's 39, is facing more than 80 date rape charges. David Willis reports.
Andrew Luster has been declared a fugitive after he jumped his $1 million bail over the weekend, disappearing from his beachfront home along with his dog and many of his personal possessions. He faces multiple rape charges and stands accused of drugging his victims and then videotaping his assaults. The great-grandson of Max Factor, Andrew Luster, was arrested after a woman he met went to the police, alleging he'd spiked her drink with the so-called date rape drug, gamma-hydroxybutyrate, otherwise known as GHB.
A survey by the Consumers Association suggests many holidaymakers aren't happy with the package deals provided by the Big Four tour operators. The report is part of a campaign by Holiday Witch magazine to promote independent holiday companies. Roger Lakin of the Consumers Association says the Big Four fail to provide the personal touch that the smaller firms do so well.
They're not adding the bells and whistles that make you have a special time. Although they are also more likely to tell you holidays that are going to go wrong, according to our survey, compared with some of the really small specialists that just seem to do everything right.
And the weather, very cold in the brisk breeze and cloudier at times. Maximum temperature today, 3 Celsius. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news. Starting on the roads, and in County Tyrone and in Zion Mills, the Strahans Road is closed as improvements are being carried out. Diversions are in place and works expected to continue in the area for the next few weeks. And turning to public transport, Citybus are replacing their 4-journey paper tickets with the new SmartLink multi-journey cards. The last date to obtain refunds on any unused 4-journey paper tickets will be the 31st of January. Deirdre Harshaw reporting.
Travel news from BBC Radio Ulster.
Okay, welcome back. It's 4 minutes past 11 o'clock. My name is Gerry Anderson. I'll be here until 12 o'clock. The number to ring, of course, is 08459 555 678. Email address, gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And here's an email from a gentleman who's sitting up there in Bergen in Norway. It's Jim Gordon. He says, "This is where I am," he said. Bergen, Norway, in the middle of the snow and ice, although I believe you're having your own share of this at the moment. I'm listening to the show on the internet whilst working on a tour here later in the year. Can you please give us a mention and say hello to my mum, Lenore Gordon, in Portstewart, and also my mates, Errol Walsh, also from Portstewart, hopefully sitting in the office at Lagan Boats in Belfast, and Sam Knowles from Lisburn, wherever he may be. All the best from the even more frozen north. That's from Jim Gordon. It's bad enough here. What must it be like in Bergen in Norway? Land of the midnight sun, probably. Perpetual night. Of course, Northern Ireland has always been in perpetual night, as far as I'm concerned. Nary a chink. No light at the end of the tunnel. Here's Randy Newman.
Yeah. They say that people living in the street, no food in their belly, no shoes on their feet, 6 black children living in a burned up room, 1 bare light bulb swinging. Little black kid come home from school, put his key in the door. Mr. Rat's on the stairway. Mr. Junk is lying his own vomit on the floor. You got to roll with the punches, little black boy. That's what you got to do. You got to roll with the punches. Tap it, baby. It's all these boring people. See them on TV, making up all these boring stories about how bad things have come to be. They say, you got to feed the hungry, and got to heal the sick. And I say, we ain't got to do nothing for nobody, cause you know, it won't work a lick. They just gonna have to roll with the punches. Yes, they will. Gonna gonna have to roll with them. They're gonna have to roll with the punches. Yes, they will. Don't matter whether you're white, black, or brown, you won't get nowhere putting down old red, white, and blue. Tap it, baby. All right. Look at those little shorts he's got on, ladies and gentlemen. You can see all the way to Argentina. Get it. So pretty. Let them go to Belgium. Let them go to France. Let them go to Russia. Or at least they ought to have the chance to go in. We've talked about the red. We have talked about the blue. Now we're going to talk about the white. That's what we're going to have to do. Now we had to roll with the punches. Yes, we did. We had to roll with them. We had to roll with the punches. Yes, we did. We had to roll with them. I don't care what you say. You live in the greatest country in the world when you live in the USA. Tap it out, baby. All right.
Roll with the punches. That's Randy Newman from an album called Land of Dreams. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Gerry. I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
You were talking there about the machine for looking at your feet in the shoe shop.
Yes.
Well, I operated one of those machines. It used to be in McAfee's in Chichester Street.
Well, if there's
in
one,
Belfast.
Well, if there's one there would have been one elsewhere.
There would, yes.
I mean, if there's one somewhere,
well,
there's another one somewhere else.
McAfee's was a shop that sort of dealt with people who had problems with their feet, you know, ladies
Yes.
who had bunions and misshapen toes and all this sort of thing.
When was the last time you heard the word bunion? Eh?
Quite some time ago.
John Bunyan.
John Bunyan, right, yes.
Pilgrim's Progress.
Yes, that's
there,
right.
Now there.
What?
Yes.
There's the woman who operated one of the machines. You can look through your feet.
Yeah, well, I know nothing about it. You know,
Well, you see, why are you so certain that such a machine never existed?
I'm
Because
the
you never
Doubting
saw one.
Thomas. I'm the Doubting Thomas. I want to put my foot into that machine before I believe it.
But this is what annoys me about you. Anything that is not within your immediate experience, you cannot accept that this could exist.
Okay, there's three people sitting here.
Yes.
Geraldine doesn't remember, didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about. You were the only one. It could have been a figment of your imagination.
The two of you have never seen that machine.
No.
Therefore, you doubt its existence.
Yes.
I have seen it. Therefore, I know it is real. So why do you not believe me when I say this? Just because I put my hand in the fire and I tell you it's painful, why do you not believe it is, even though you have never done so? It's an elementary leap. It's a leap of faith. It's what's called believing in your fellow man. It's like, I will not tell you a lie if I say...
Where did this lady operate hers?
I'll just talk to her now in a moment.
Right.
Tell me about this machine.
And how long did it last, and was it dangerous?
Just leave in a moment.
All right, turn me off.
No, it was in a shoe shop in Chichester Street called McAfee's.
Yes.
In Belfast. And it was a big machine. It was about the size of, say, like a washing machine.
Exactly.
With a wee place on the bottom where you put your feet in.
Put your feet in.
And when you put your foot in and looked in through the wee viewfinder at the top,
yes,
you saw all of the nails in the shoe. And you saw your bones of the toe.
Yes.
And we used it for when children were, you know, their feet were still growing, to make sure that they had still growing room within the shoe.
I rest my case.
And people who had bunions and misshapen toes and things, that they had plenty of room so that their bunions weren't getting squashed.
And where is that machine gone now?
Well, I don't know. McAfee's is closed down now, so it has gone years ago. But there must be, surely there must be somewhere, that still uses them.
Beggars the imagination.
Yes.
You know that a person cannot get something like that.
Well, I don't know that it was dangerous or anything. I mean, we were never told that it was dangerous or...
So we never told that asbestos was dangerous either?
No, true. So, I mean, it was used quite often. It was used regularly. you know. So
I remember using it myself, because the street that I used to live in, there was 2 shoe shops on it, in the centre of Derry Stoke Londonderry, and I was always running up and down. And the man, Pollocks and Salmons, that's what they're named, 2 different shoe shops.
Yes.
And one of them had one of those. And I used to go in every once in a while. And, you know, at that time, men used to tolerate children. You know, the time when people used to tolerate children because we weren't wearing baseball caps and we weren't drinking beer.
Yes.
And you'd go into the shop, and you'd say, "Mister, can I put my foot in your machine?" He'd say, "Certainly, son, go ahead." And I used to put my foot and look down and wiggle my toes and then run out laughing.
Yes, you've seen all your bones and all, yes.
I know, I'm quite familiar with my bones.
Well, you and I must have been the same age group then, Gerry. Those other ones maybe are too young to remember.
No, they're not too young. It's just that they don't accept anything that they have never seen themselves. It's what's called a lack of imagination.
Well, it definitely did exist.
Well, I'm glad that you've seconded that. I'm glad that you've corroborated my story.
Right.
Sometimes I think I beat my head against the wall.
No,
here.
it definitely did exist.
It must have been dangerous, though.
Well, I don't know. We were never told that it was dangerous, and I mean, it was...
Well, let's put it this way. We're still living.
Yes.
There, now, look.
But look at the effect it had on you.
I'll tell you what.
He's awful cruel to you.
I'll tell you what.
Yes?
I have perfect feet. I was once told by a foot person that my feet were absolutely perfect. And you know why they're perfect? Because they had room to grow, Sean.
Yes, that's right.
And the reason why they had room to grow is because I never had shoes that were too small for me. Do you know why? Because I put my foot in the x-ray machine and I could see that my toes had room to grow. And they didn't feel around your toes like your old people. And my wife didn't go out and buy my shoes.
You see, it's all so simple now.
They were fitted properly.
They were fitted properly?
Yes.
Yeah, but see, people don't get
no, you don't get
fitted
fitted now.
Yes, but you see, your feet have stopped growing now.
Well, speak for yourself. Mine have, you know what they say about men with big feet? It's hard to get shoes for them. And another thing I want to ask you as well.
What? I mean, if you have an 8.5 foot now, you have an 8.5 foot next year as well, too.
Your feet change.
And the year after that.
Look at the Chinese. Their feet change all the time. They bind them up.
No, they used to. That's stopped now.
Have they?
Yes, that's been banned.
And do you always have one foot bigger than the other, too?
Well, I always have had. My right.
Everybody's feet are the same. You always have one foot slightly bigger than the other.
Yeah, you see, can you explain? There's a woman who knows the score. Have you explained that to your wife?
But that's why
she brings you in 2 shoes the same size.
Nowadays,
you should get an 8 and an 8.5. That's what you should get.
I have a high instep.
What?
I have a high instep, and I get a wide-fitting shoe. The shoes are made wonderfully well now compared to years ago.
How come you have a high instep and no one else has?
I always had a high...
Do high insteps run in your family?
I had trouble with...
Get it? Run in your family?
I had trouble with beetle boots.
Had you really?
Do you know what we used to say about men who had high insteps?
What?
Maybe I shouldn't say it.
No, go ahead.
No, don't.
Go ahead.
Don't.
Men who had high insteps were a bit sort of...
What?
Bit of a pansy.
That's a hateful thing to say, isn't it? Really?
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sure it's not true, but that's what we used to say anyway.
You don't know.
The shop.
You don't know how right you are. Well, that's you told off. There's no answer to that. He's very quiet after that. Not a mute out of him now.
He's gone now.
I'm grabbing.
May I hasten to add? There's nothing wrong with being a bit of a pansy.
No, there's not.
Nothing wrong with that?
Not at all.
Well, thank you for corroborating my story.
That's okay, you're welcome.
I'm beginning to think that I'm the only one who has any knowledge of the past.
No, you're not.
That's all right. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, now.
Bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye. So there.
Billy wants you.
That's not wee Billy, is it?
No, it's not wee Billy. He's on too.
You want to watch that high instep? Hello, Billy.
Oh, Jay, this is Big Billy.
Oh, Big Billy. Sorry, I thought it was wee Billy.
I just want to ring with 2 things. Agree with you about the machine.
Yes.
Because I use those myself.
I wonder were they dangerous?
I don't think so.
Well, why did they disappear? Why have they not got them in the shops now? I loved them.
Because they brought in these, the sliders you put your foot in and they're...
But you can't. But that's no good. You can't see your toes waggling.
Oh no.
I mean,
well,
do you
remember using that?
Do you remember seeing your toes wiggling?
Oh, I do, yeah.
They should have them for pregnant women. You'd lie in there and you could see your baby.
Well, I think they would need the wee opening on the bottom a lot bigger for that job.
I think they probably would. But I mean, I remember it was one of the greatest moments of my life when I saw me bones and me toes, me metatarsals.
I think it was based Not on X-ray, obviously. But I think it was based on... Did you ever take a torch
Yes.
in a dark room and shine it in the palm of your hands and look at the back of your hand and you can see your bones?
I think you're absolutely right, yeah. It wasn't
I think it was based on that sort of principle, you know.
It wasn't an X-ray as such. It was some kind of ultraviolet thing.
It couldn't have been.
Or, I don't know what you would call that. Some kind of strange light.
Uh-huh.
Whereby...
It would have cost a fortune to run if it had been an X-ray machine.
It would have been, yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, wouldn't you love one of those now?
Aye.
If I had one of those now in my house, I'd be in and out all the time looking at my feet.
Oh, no.
I would just be fascinated by it.
I know Sean said there that the shoes are better today than what they were years ago. I absolutely disagree with that.
They are. I'll tell you why. Because, I mean, when was the last time you left shoes in to get repaired?
Oh, I don't throw them away.
I left shoes in to get repaired the other day. Well, it was a good while ago. It was in Belfast, actually. And I shouldn't say this, really. But you know the way that your sole used to come off your shoe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, what people do now, they throw your shoes away.
Yeah.
But I particularly like these shoes, so I got the sole and I went up to the guy in the shoe shop and I said, listen, do you do repairs? I said, yeah, certainly. I said, could I have those soled and heeled? Yeah. And I said, pardon? He said, could I have those soled and heeled? He said, all right. And I went back. I don't think he understood me at the start because that's what I used to say years ago. You'd been in the shop, could I have those soled and heeled? And I went back and there was the sole on it and big ugly lumps of book and glue. Like solidified on the outside of it.
That's right.
And he never even bothered, you know. And I said, look at that. I said, what's that? He said, what's what? I said, look, you can see globs of stuff there. Uh-huh. I said, would you not think of filing that off? He said, oh, no, that's the way it goes. No craftsmanship.
No hand stitching anymore.
Not at all.
Not at all. I'm giving you his away here, but...
No, if you want to get I'll tell you what, you can still get shoes like that in places in London.
Aye.
But it costs you like 800 quid for a pair of shoes.
Uh-huh.
You go in and get a handmade pair of shoes in places like Jermyn Street and Bond Street.
Yeah.
I have a couple of pairs.
Oh,
but
no, don't be bragging.
But you can't do that now. You can't do that here. And you just get out. They're all plastic shoes.
That's it.
Did you ever notice...
Did you get Billy's litter picker?
Oh, yes, that's another thing I want to talk to you about. Could you, or does anybody out there know where I could purchase a litter picker?
What's a litter picker?
It's, you ever see the council roadmen lifting the bags and tins and that?
I've never seen them doing anything except smoke.
No, this, it's a rod. It's about 3 feet long. And
with a little catch on the end of it.
A claw on the end of it, and there's a trigger at the other end.
Yeah.
And they put it on a tin can or a bag, and they pull the trigger, and the claw shuts. And
That's right, yeah. That's right.
The back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point. I mean, I've never seen one of those for sale in a shop.
Well, I have searched all the big obvious stores.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the big obvious stores are not usually the place where you could obviously get something like that.
No, but I mean, I've even went to assistants and asked them. They looked at me like it was mad.
Oh, I wasting your time.
Yeah, no.
Wasting your time. I would never ask anybody about anything anymore.
But why does Billy want one?
I'm just about to get round to that. Will you give me a minute, please? I'm working on background here.
Sorry, could you turn me off then?
Yes, I will. Just keep your nose out of it. And so, why do you want one?
Well, for obvious reasons to save the back, but the thing is that I live a short distance away from what you would call a corner shop, you know.
Yes.
And it's not the shopkeeper's fault, obviously, but kids and people, this is a throwaway generation.
Mm-hmm.
And every weekend on a Monday, my front and back garden is full of empty crisp bags, tin cans, bottles.
Beer cans.
Yeah, you know.
Chinese food receptacles.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
You know, fish and
sometimes
chips.
half a hamburger.
Yeah.
Bit of a fish supper.
You know what? I've seen me out there and lifting the full of a large shopping bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. So you need that because is your back a little painful when you bend over?
It is, yeah.
Well, you need one of those things. It's, what do you call it again? A
litter
stick.
picker.
A litter picker.
Yeah.
All right, then. So where would a man get a litter picker? We've never been asked that before in this programme, which just goes to show you that there's nothing new under the sun. Oh. And there's nothing under the sun that cannot surface and raise its ugly head in this programme.
Well, I would appreciate it.
All right, then. So anyone who knows where to get one of those, it's like a stick. You grab something and the thing that shoots...
there's a trigger at the hand end and there's a claw at the other end.
Yeah. Okay, well, we try and get you one of those. Maybe perhaps some good person would give us a ring and tell us where we can get that, and we'll let you know.
That's grand, Gerry. Thank you very much.
And damn the people who throw your litter in.
Correct.
All right, then. Okay.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, good morning, Barbara.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. Are you having a nice New Year so far?
So far, so good.
Good. This could be your year.
You think?
You
Hopefully.
think so? It might be mine, too.
Right.
I've never had one.
Oh, no.
I'm looking for a good year yet. All my years have been unhappy and riven with...
Oh,
Tragedy.
Poor
I'm just wondering,
critter.
maybe perhaps this one will be better.
Right. Well, are you going to play Packard on for me today?
I don't know if I am or not. It all depends why I should... I wonder if I got anything by... I don't think I have anything. Have you anything by Packard Dunn up there? He might go up and get it.
Right.
Why would I play that?
Well, I rang you on Christmas Eve to play it,
Mhm.
and you never, and then I went on to labour on Christmas Eve night. It was that far by myself.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
And did you have your baby?
Baby girl on Christmas morning at 11:30.
Oh, brilliant. Christmas morning at 11:30?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, were you in hospital, obviously?
I was, I.
Was that the only baby born that day?
No, there was 4.
Four?
We were the second. My baby was the second.
Was that a big hospital? Was it the Royal or something?
No, it was the Coleraine Hospital.
And 4 babies were born on Christmas Day in
4
Coleraine
babies
Hospital?
were born, uh-huh.
Oh, I think there's people aiming for it.
Well, I definitely wasn't aiming for it. I was trying my hardest not to.
And what, was the boy or a girl?
A girl, big girl.
What are you going to call her? Nolene?
No.
Noelle?
No.
No.
Carly.
Carly?
Carly, uh-huh.
C-A-R-L...
K-A-R-L-I.
Oh, that's a nice name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice name.
Uh-huh.
All right, how does it feel to have a baby on Christmas Day? Painful.
Very, uh-huh.
But, the only thing about that is when the child grows up, it'll always feel cheated on Christmas Day.
I know, I would hate to have my birthday on Christmas Day.
Because,
I know, well, I'll make a point of having a wee birthday before Christmas Day and then have a party, for her on Christmas Day.
Yeah, you should have her birthday on the 25th of November.
Uh-huh.
You should do that so she's not mixed up.
Uh-huh. Well, she was actually due around 20th, so
All right.
maybe around that. But
Okay, give her no, it's too near Christmas.
What?
Do it about a month. Give her a birthday about a month beforehand.
Right, do you think so?
Yes,
Well,
and then because once she gets into Christmas, presents mean nothing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's congratulations anyway.
Well, thank you.
Okay, how many children do you have?
That's my second.
Oh, that's all right.
Uh-huh.
And that was a girl. Have you a boy before? Or was
No,
that
another girl.
You need a wee boy now coming up next Christmas.
No, no way, never again.
Oh,
Not after that episode.
Was it a tough delivery, was it?
I was on labour here on Christmas Eve, and I couldn't get my husband out of the bed. He didn't believe me. Had to batter him.
Oh, he didn't believe you?
No.
Well, did you not point, obviously, to a large bump in front of you and say this could be the source of it?
No, I had to thump him many times and tell him to get out of the bed, and he just turned his bum to me. And
we hear many reports about that kind of thing, yes. Had he drink taken on Christmas Eve?
No.
That's all right.
No, I hadn't. No.
That's all right, that's okay.
We had to do Santa Claus, you see. No, he was very good, so he was.
Except he turned his bum to you.
Uh-huh.
Well, you see, that happens often. Many's a marriage has broken up because of that, but I'm sure you'll be able to mend it.
No, well, he's made up for it now, so he has last week. Whenever
There's
nights
nights you'd wish he'd turn his bum to you.
You're right. About 9 months ago.
Those nights when you get exactly. You should have got a headache. You're getting a headache at the wrong time.
No. I'll make sure not get any.
No, headaches from now on. Headaches every night from now on.
That's right,
Right, well, do you want me to say hello, or do you want me to do something for you?
I will pack it on if you have it, because it was him that was looking for
Mr. Coyle, would it be too much to ask you in your capacity as a man who is involved in the show to maybe perhaps, go some way towards maybe finding some recording by Packard Dunn which you could play for this young lady on the occasion of her second baby, which was born on Christmas Day, and her husband turned his bum to her in the bed? Would that be possible?
You better say hello to him, too.
You mean now? Yeah, yes, now. I thought maybe it would be a good time, yes, now. But maybe, sometime before 11 o'clock, or 12 o'clock even, maybe the lady could continue to listen. And during the course of that small period of time, 35 minutes, maybe perhaps you could find a moment to find a Packard Dunn CD and perhaps we could play it. Because after all, this is why we're here. To facilitate the wishes of the listeners.
We've got the man a second-hand litter picker.
A second-hand one?
Yes.
Yes.
And we've got him one.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one a lady asked me to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good point. Maybe you could ask Barbara.
Yes.
And she might know. Why, when you go to the dentist, why does the dentist leave the room when he's taking an x-ray of you?
Because he's going out to search your pockets in your coat, see if you have any money.
He leaves you in the room and holding a big thing to your cheek. And away he goes. He disappears out into another room.
Yeah, so why should he put himself at risk? Eh?
So therefore there's an element of danger.
Of course there is, yeah.
Well, that's why they got rid of the x-ray machines for your feet.
No, they weren't x-ray machines. We've established that. You weren't listening, of course. It was some kind of strange light that is generated within the machine that made it look as if you could see your bones, but you couldn't actually see your bones. You saw representations. Do you know the way you get a torch and you shine it in your hand and you can see your kind of whatever bones you have? Have you ever seen that? You can see the shadow of your bones.
Well, apparently there's a shoe shop in Ballymena still has one.
There you are, you see. Where is that?
I don't know. McKillen's in Ballymena.
We should do an outside broadcast from there.
We should.
And get people to come in and look at their bones. And they're still using it, are they?
Well, I don't know. The lady thinks so, or the man.
McKillen's?
McKillen's.
Well, why don't you ring him up?
Actually, I don't want to.
Oh, I know you don't want to, but what about if I said you have to? Because this is what you do. This is what you're paid for. What you're here for is to follow my whims.
Right. But why does the dentist leave the room?
Because he couldn't be bothered watching you. That's why. He goes out to puke. And then he comes in again.
Right.
Because he's already seen down your mouth.
What do you want me to do? Either phone
I want you to ring McKillen's.
Right.
If you would.
Ring McKillen's.
Two things I want you to do. I want you to ring McKillen's, and I want to talk to him about his machine. Secondly, I want you, if you don't mind, maybe perhaps get some recording by Pecker Dunn so we can facilitate this young lady who's just had a baby.
But could Barbara not wait until tomorrow?
No, she couldn't. Barbara?
Yes.
Can you wait until tomorrow?
I don't mind as long as you promise to play it.
Do you promise to play it?
Me?
Oh, sorry. Do I promise to play it? Yes, I promise to play it, sure. All right, then I will. I will.
Right, that's okay.
Then.
And by the way, you can get Packer Dunn CDs and the music box in Ballymoney.
Well, there you are.
So, in case anybody's interested.
We didn't know that.
Well.
Okay, anyone who wants to get any Pecker Dunn CDs or cassettes or tapes, you can get them in the music box in Ballymoney.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for that wisdom and knowledge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
May your baby prosper and may your husband keep turning his back to you.
You're right.
All right, then.
Okay, thanks a lot now.
Bye.
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 Say you will love me if I have to go. You'll be thinking of me. Somehow I will know. Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far away, then I will remember things we said today. Say you'll be mine, girl, till the end of time. These days, such a kind girl seems so hard to find. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. I'm just a lucky guy. Love to hear you say that love is love, and though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just a lucky guy. Love to hear you say that love is love, and though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today.
That's good. That's Things We Did Today. Is it called that? Things We Said Today. Sorry, that's Dwight Yoakam. That's recorded 2 or 3 years ago. It's an old Beatles song, of course. You know that. And here's Elspeth Brown writes to me, and she says, I remember the X-ray machine. Hold on a second. Let me see. What is that? Sorry, I'm just doing something here. I'm just reading that. That's very strange, that. Sorry, I can't read that. And it says, I remember the X-ray machine in the shoe shop also. There was one in Reed's shop on the Sandy Row in the late 50s. Please say hello to Margaret and Ernie McGuckin. Margaret is in the Mater Hospital in Belfast at the moment. Get well soon. And Kerry Ferris sends me an email. She says, I remember a thing in the shoe shops that you put your foot into that measured your feet. That was no good at all. They're not the same anymore. There isn't always that personal service you used to get. Well, that's true. I'm always a man who's always keen on personal service, but you don't get it anymore, I know. I've been asked to play something else. Hold on a second. I'm just looking for it here. I know it's very confusing for the listeners, but it's very difficult for me to get these things right because there's a confusion here. What's the song I'm trying to play? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, here's the one. I played this the other day, and someone asked me to play this, and I promised I would do it. It's a song called Come Together by the Beatles, and it's by Ike and Tina Turner. Here it is.
Got
That's Ike and Tina Turner. That's the song called Come Together. That's the Beatles' special request. David Thompson sends me an email. He says, please play the Weakest Link song or something as equally entertaining as I'm writing a difficult essay on Karl Marx. Oh, well, and need some cheering up. Also, please do your Say What You See impression. I find it rather funny. Well, I don't actually do that. It's Mr. Coyle does that, but I can do it. Say what you see. Hello, good morning. Geraldine. Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Hello, Geraldine, how are you?
Not too bad.
Say what you see.
Pardon?
Say what you see.
What are you doing?
Say what you see. And the M Square. Sorry, I've turned into Roy Walker.
All right.
It's good, but it's not right. Do you remember you used to do that?
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not right.
Uh-huh.
See what you see. Sorry, I'm losing control.
You are.
Just carry on. I know I'm interfering with your phone call. What have you got to say for yourself? Or indeed, what have you got to say for yourself? Not what I've got to say for myself.
No, it is a very urgent plea. We're looking for a foster mother for 7 greyhound pups.
7 greyhound pups?
7.
That seems a lot.
It is.
Yes.
There was actually more.
Uh-huh.
But, no, the mother is very ill at the moment.
Uh-huh.
And can't feed them. And we really are pleading. We've tried every word. We have done, we've run coursing tracks everywhere, but at the moment we can't get one.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't get one soon, we're going to lose them.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm.
So where are the little pups now? What are they doing? How are they been...
We have them in the house at the moment, and we're feeding them off powder, like mother's milk.
Yes,
from the vet.
Yes.
But they still do need the mother's milk.
All right, then.
And they need her to keep them warm. Although we've got them warm, but they haven't got her, the parent beside them.
And what kind of state is she in? Is she in bad state, is she?
Well, she is at the moment. Well, she's up, but she just wants to lie there, and she doesn't want it. She has no milk at the minute anyway, but she doesn't want to feed them anyway.
All right, then.
But she has no milk either.
Oh, dear.
So
whereabouts in the country are you in at the moment?
I'm in Dariff.
Where's that?
Near Ballynahinch.
Okay, right.
Yeah, between Castlewellan and Ballynahinch.
All right, then. So what you need is a foster mother for 7 greyhounds?
Definitely, yeah.
So somewhere around that area would be preferable, but
anywhere at all, because my husband and all even went down south at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the course and tracks and everything, but we couldn't find anything.
All right, then. Well, you might be lucky. Maybe someone listening has got a dog, that would do that.
It would be brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Gerry.
All right, then. Anyone who's in a position to help this lady, give us a ring at 08459 555 678 and we'll put you in contact with her. Okay, love.
Thank you very much.
Not at all.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. What?
There's a wee call there for you.
Look, my head's light today.
His head's light. He's telling me now. You have no idea what my head's doing. Right. All right. Bye. Would you talk to Jill on 2? No, not you. No, I want Gerry to talk to Jill on 2. I don't want you to talk to Jill on 2. I'll talk to you as a 1-to-1. Right. I want him now to take up. Would you talk to Jill, please, on 2?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you now, but this girl thinks I'm talking to her. She thinks I want her to talk to Jill.
Tell her to get a grip. Tell her to catch herself on. Hello?
Hello, Gerry.
Is that Gillian?
Yes, Gerry.
Jill, sorry.
Gerry, we used to have people that came in and they used to bring up a half size smaller or bigger because of their different shaped feet.
Hold on a second. You need to start at the start. Tell me that
again. You're talking about people having one foot bigger than the other?
One foot?
Foot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're back to feet again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they used to sneak them up and they give them to you, and you were awful busy. You didn't have time to check.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have been the half size. And then when we came to stop taking them out, we had these odd shoes. I'm sure many of your listeners that worked in these shops experienced this. They did it with the various items that didn't fit them.
You mean people would actually take 2 odd shoes?
Yes, because the one didn't fit them. One was too tight and the other one was a good fit.
But they wouldn't tell you that. They would take another one.
No, they would just come up to the counter and take potluck. By the way, they didn't know.
Uh-huh. They would take an 8 and they take 1 8 and they take 1 8.5.
They would have. Stop. Give me that. I'm speaking. Hello, Gerry. This is Carol Smiley. How are you doing, Gerry? And a happy New Year to you.
Well, this is quite sudden.
I was awful sad to hear about Sean's big step there.
This conversation, what, Mr. Coyle, there's a maniac on here.
I was so pleased to hear about Sean's instep. I was all over the moon. He wouldn't need me buttons that man.
It's Gerald Smiley looking for you, Sean.
And I'm all smiles, Gerry. Oh, God.
It's Gerald Smiley and I'm smiling now.
I'm all smiles. and his wee soft and step is not lovely.
How much money are you giving me, Sean, for doing this broadcast? I'm smiling. Look at me smiling. That's worth a tenner.
Smiling, Gerry.
I'm smiling now.
Gerry.
I'm smiling now.
Sean's smiling.
He's smiling now.
Well, a very happy New Year to you, Gerry.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
I don't know, your man seems to me rather sort of sexy.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what the music's like, but the lyric suggests a sort of don't know, highly erotic pillow talk. I want to be your lover, baby.
Yes.
I want to be your man. I want to be your lover, baby. I want to be your man. Tell me that you love me, baby, like no other can.
Yes.
Love you like no other, baby, like no other can. I want to be your man. I want to be your man. Tell me that you love me, baby. Tell me you understand. Tell me that you love me, baby. I want to be your man. I want to be your lover, baby. I want to be your man. I want to be your lover, baby. I want to be your man. I want to be your man. I want to be your man. I want to be your lover, baby. I want to be your man. I want to be your lover, baby. I want to be your man. Tell me that you love me, baby, like no other can. Love you like no other, baby, like no other can. I want to be your man. I want to be your man.
Where would we be without Radio 4?
Don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Oh, don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you came from like the rest of us. Digging out the deedle door. And don't forget your shoes and socks and shirt and tie and all. No, don't forget your shoes and socks and shirt and tie and all. Don't forget your shoes and socks and shirt and tie and all. Mr. Murphy's afraid you'd make a claim if you take a fall. How's it going? Not too bad. Out the deedle door. Oh, we want to go to heaven, but we're always digging holes. Oh, we want to go to heaven, but we're always digging holes. Yeah, we want to go to heaven, but we're always digging holes. Well, there's one thing you can say, we know where we are going, no.
Any chance to start?
No, okay. Out the deedle door. And if you want to do it, don't you do it again the wall. If you want to do it, don't you do it again the wall. Never seen a toilet in the building site at all. There's a shed up in the corner where they won't see you at all. Oh,
make your sandwiches.
Out the deedle door. Enoch Powell will give us a job digging away to on the skull. Enoch Powell will give us a job digging away to on the skull. Enoch Powell will give us a job digging away to on the skull. And when we're finished digging, then we'll close the hole and all. Now there's 6,559 paddies over there in London, all trying to dig their way back down a skull, and very few of them boys is going to get back at all. I think that's terrible. Don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Oh, don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Oh, don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you came from like the rest of us. So, digging, 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 down the deedle-do.
That's Christy Moore. That's a song called Don't Forget to Shovel If You Want to Go to Work. That's from an album called, what's that album called? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's called The Time Has Come. One of the lesser known albums, but then again, one of the better ones. Foster lambs are required in the Caledon area of County Tyrone. Found a grey tabby cat in the Dromara area last week, and Therese is looking for a cassette of Jake Thackeray. Jake Thackeray, who died recently. A lot of people were writing about him. I couldn't stand him, to be honest with you, and I suppose I shouldn't be saying that, but you have to tell the truth. What?
Fine, thank you.
Don't forget your tumble if you want to go to work.
Yeah.
Don't forget your tumble if you want to
Yeah, we got him sorted out with the litter picker.
If you want to go to work.
Well, we have him sorted.
We have a little song here. We played a wee album. We had a number of people were asking us about this group we played yesterday called the Henry Girls. And we were trying to contact them. Why don't one of the girls, why don't you give us a lift? A ring, I mean. Sorry. This is them. This is a song called The Farmer's Son.
Well, there once was a farmer, and he sent his son out into the field.
But the farmer said, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Well, the very next day, there was a war declared, and an army man came marching through the countryside. And he's a farming, but he can't take anyone who has a broken arm. And all the neighbors said, well, good luck. But the farmer said, how do you know? 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 How do you know?
That's a great song. That's called The Farmer's Song from three girls from Donegal called the Henry Girls. I wanted to talk to one of those. If you're listening, girls, give us a ring. Find out a little more about you. Give us a ring at 08459 555 678.
Waltz of the years, ever so slow. Years come, years go. Stay in my arms, on through the years, through laughter and tears. It was just some old song he was singing. Soon they were waltzing away, seeing my mother and father laughing and dancing that day. There in the kitchen together, memories, a child's souvenirs. I didn't know they were dancing, dancing the waltz of the years. Waltz of the years, ever so slow. Years come, years go. Stay in my arms, on through the years, through laughter and tears. Darling, soon enough the dancing is done, though the melody has only begun. Look at the sunlight pour in through the open door, out and we'll dance in the sun. And it's just some old song that they're playing here on the radio now. Me, I was never a dancer. Maybe I'll manage somehow. I'm so unsure, but you're with me, easing my doubts and my fears. Look at us now and we're dancing Years come, years go. Stay in my arms, on through the ages, through laughter and tears. Darling, soon enough the dancing is done, though the melody has only begun. Look at the sunlight pour in through the open door, out and we'll dance in the sun.
That's Eamon Friel. I played that a while back. That's his new single from his new album, which is not out yet, but when it does come out, I'll tell you all about it. That's called Waltz of the Years. Eamon Friel, Resident Maniac here on BBC Radio 4. I played a track there from an album by the Henry Girls, and I believe one of the girls is on the line now. Lorna. Hello, Lorna.
Hello, Gerry.
Hello, Lorna. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Congratulations on a really fine album. I really like this. I just got this yesterday, and I think it's really, really good. Tell me a bit about yourselves. Where are you from, three of you?
Well, we're all from Malin.
Malin Head? Malin in County Donegal?
Yeah, it's County Donegal, yeah. Not quite Malin Head. It's just...
well, it's not too far away.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, are you sisters?
Yeah, we're sisters, yeah.
Really?
There are actually 6 of us, but 3 of us play together now, and we decided to make an album together.
Well, have you done many gigs around the area, or have you played locally at all, or what have you been doing this past while back?
Well, we're all really involved in music. Like we've sort of different things on. Myself and Karen are in a band called the Henry Sadler Band with Finbar Doherty. And then Jolene is actually, she's the youngest. She's at college at the moment. She's doing a degree in music.
Yes.
And myself and Karen are a bit older, and we've been playing for years, and we've been in a few different bands, and we've got degrees in music as well. And we're just playing away like mad. And we do a session. The 3 of us play every Wednesday night up in Carndona in the Persian Bar.
Yeah.
And just lots of music. Full-time musicians, the 3 of us.
Very good.
But so we really, I mean, we've written our own material, and we just this year just decided, right, we'll make an album. And so we did that. We got Myra Brannock up to produce it, and that was a really good idea. She was absolutely great to work with, and we're really happy with what turned out, you know.
Well, it's very, very good indeed, and as you say yourself, you've written some of your own material, and it's quite impressive. I like, there's one I played yesterday called James Monroe. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's one that Karen wrote.
Yeah. Well, which do you think is the one? Which is your favourite one?
I'm not sure. I like them all. They've all got a little story, you know. They're all very different. Like, it's a very kind of varied album. But I really have a soft spot for the Farmer song.
Yeah, I just played that a moment ago. That's very well. Best of luck to you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, and I hope this does really well for you. And I'm going to play it anyway as much as I can. And maybe
brilliant.
Maybe I'll run into you sometime round about County Donegal.
Well, if you fancy coming down, we're having a launch on the 24th of January in the Gories.
I'm always there.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I'll be away at that time, I have to say. I'll be away soon.
Oh, really?
But I'll miss that. But,
that's a pity.
Well, congratulations anyway. And I wish you all the best, and I hope things go well for you.
Thanks a million, Gerry.
Okay, we haven't got much time now. I'm going to play one of the shorter tracks. What's Mary's Reflection about? I haven't heard that one
yet. That's a piece that Jolene wrote. It's just solo harp.
Oh, well, let's play that.
Okay. Lovely.
Thank you very much, Lorna. Good luck to the rest of the girls, and the best of luck to you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
it's really lovely. And that's a song called, what's that called? Mary's, which one? Eyes of One. No, it's not. Mary's Reflecting, that's called. That's, the Henry girls. That's 3 girls who are extremely talented. I think they're great, and, their album is called Between Us. We'll be playing more of that, during the course of the past week. Can we not say who's on next week? Who's going to be?
During the course of the past week, we'll be playing more of it.
We'll be back, tomorrow morning at approximately 10:30 when I hope not to be heckled. It is exactly 12 o'clock.
92 to 95 FM.